Is Nico Iamaleava holding out for a better deal? Well, it looks that way, even as he and his father are not saying that's what's going on. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something that you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer this question in the comments below. Do you think that Nico Iamaleava is becoming the first big name player to hold out for a better contract during the spring period? Because it looks that way. So there are lots of sides to this, and I have waited a little bit to kind of find some real news to go on before I do a segment on this. Because one, rumors are rumors, but if you know something, you know something. And this is one of those where I am really asking questions to people around what could be going on, how it could be going on, but frankly, just not inside that program. Adam Sparks is. He covers Tennessee for the Knox Sentinel, and he wrote a really good piece that was basically laying out what you probably know if you are a Tennessee fan, but what you probably don't know if you are a college football fan, or you might just kind of heard about this if you're in the SEC and your team is in the SEC. So Nico signed a mega deal in 2022, one of the first of its kind, for $2 million a year. He also led Tennessee to its first college football playoff bid ever. That team looks like a program that has put together the kind of staff and infrastructure that can do that again. Now, they'll need to replace some things at running back, tailback, defensive line, but they had a Thorpe Award finalist last year, and Nico is the straw stirring the drink. He has been the straw stirring the drink. Winning his commitment was a big deal. As a matter of fact, Tennessee boosters were accused of breaking rules to go get him. Like, now you can pay guys as recruits to come see you. Didn't always seem like that part was clear. The money has gone up since the last time that Nico signed a contract as well, and we've got the $20.5 million cap coming July 1. That'll go up by about 4% each and every year, but right now is a spending spree with the transfer portal opening up here in just a few days. Yesterday, CBS Sports reported, hey, there's no smoke here, right? They had asked Nico's father, they'd asked people that represent Nico, what's going on, if anything, because the smoke is he's unhappy and you're looking to get a better deal. And they said, no, we're fine. We are okay. Everything about this we find kind of exasperating, and there's nothing to it. On Twitter, Nico and his father say the same thing. Hey, there's nothing to this. Don't know where all of this is coming from. And that's why, like, for instance, once Carnell Tate got out and said, hey, I'm going to Ohio State. I am an Ohio State wide receiver. I don't care that there might be $1 million offer from somebody somewhere that somebody told you about to get into the portal. Don't know where that comes from. Squashed it, and it's been that way since at Ohio State. Meanwhile, this morning we got news from Pete Thamel at ESPN that Nico Iamaleava did not show up to a spring practice on Friday morning. This was not news that they expected to hear. Tennessee expected to see Nico at practice. Apparently they did not. And after Adam Sparks reached out to both representation for the collective, right, and folks from the Iamaleava family, he gets no response, no comment. What no comment and no response usually means is you're going to have to fill it in with what you think is happening, because that's the thing that I've always said about no comment and what I've said about talking, right? Both of those things can get you in trouble. It just depends on which lever you want to pull and why you're pulling it. Pleading the fifth is pleading the fifth. But you might not want to say anything, because you never want to say anything in the middle of a contract negotiation. It can be misinterpreted. It can be taken hard. You want these things to be as civil as they possibly can be. Nobody should be banging their fist on the table. Nobody should be accusatory. I mean, frankly, this is one of the reasons why you have agents that represent the institution, like a negotiator, and agents that represent the individual, right? And you'll make those deals as they come. But you're also talking about a college football fan that is new to this and doesn't really like it. And one of the reasons that they don't like it is, frankly, it looks a lot like the NFL. And there's a lot that college football fans just don't like about the NFL. It's one of the major reasons they're college football fans. The things that the NFL demands, contract negotiations, free agency, wholesale swapping of teams, salary caps that feel Byzantine and impossible for casual people to understand. Why is a quarterback like Deshaun Watson getting paid as much as Deshaun Watson was getting paid for the Cleveland Browns, and yet you can't trade him unless you're trading all that money or cut him? All these different ways in which you're protected under collective bargaining agreement or not. We don't have that in college football. We don't even have a union for players with some teeth. This is all going to be marketing agents, NIL agents, collectives, and universities doing the negotiations. Now, that's one of the other reasons why you're asking for a college football czar in some places, because what you want is not necessarily somebody to tell you what to do. Nobody really likes that. What you want is a referee. You want someone who can say this is right, this is wrong, and you want the rules to be the same for everybody and them not to be constantly changing based on the economic environment and a settlement that hasn't actually been settled yet. House versus NCAA is still ongoing. Feels like it's going to be right on time when it does, but until then, transfer portal's coming. It's careering at us. And if Nico Iamaleava is playing hard ball, and it does look that way from here, you're going to have to pay him if you're Tennessee. He probably saw what you saw, which is Darren Mensah getting $4 million for 2 years at Duke, coming out of Tulane, not having Nico's credentials or some might say talent. You saw the same thing with John Mateer at Oklahoma. Great player, coming off a crappy team that might be making out $3 million. Same thing true of Carson Beck at Georgia. Great player, coming off of not a crappy team, but certainly a great team that made the college football playoff, not the Final Four. Ugh. I made that mistake twice in 2 segments. That's my bad, guys. But transfers to Miami because he could get paid there. If you're Nico, you might just want to test the market because you can make a lot here. And Tennessee knows it has to. And if you're Tennessee, it's also what's his value to you? Do you like the guy behind him as much as you like him? If that's the case, perhaps you're willing to let it go. Perhaps you're willing to let this be, let him test the market. And you're willing to play 2025 without him at quarterback. But I don't think many Volunteer fans like what they got behind him as much as they like him. And this is not supposed to be a Tennessee team that is going to be stagnant. It's supposed to be one that continues. The goal this year is to win the SEC championship and go to the next round of the college football playoff, if not win the national championship. It might not be something they're capable of, but they certainly won't be considered capable of that if Nico has transferred elsewhere. I am very curious to see how this ends and how this unfolds. We thought someone might do this, but I was thinking it was going to be along the lines of offensive line, defensive line, positions of absolute need, as opposed to a high value, high caliber position where you expected it to be locked up all the way into the future, and Tennessee might not be. So if it's another $1 million annually, if it's another $2 million annually, maybe you make that move just to keep everybody, happy. And by everybody, I mean Iamaleava. But I think the further this goes on, the more this gets out and the more people start reporting on it and talking about it, the less it's going to look for you. But there's still time for this to get resolved, and I expect that it will because smart people are at Tennessee. Smart people represent Iamaleava. I just would like to see smart people come to the table and say, okay, let's make this work. Let's make this happen so we can go play football.